true. That smile does deserve to be protected. Shout out to Spartacus. That smile deserves to be protected. Even if you shit yourself when you see it, even though it's on some Attack on Titan shit, it's very precious. It's very pure. I'm not even lying to you. It's a pure smile. It's a very pure smile. You know what I'm saying? It's very innocent. Very innocent smile. Anyway, what's good? It's your boy Sun Wukong. It's time for that Fate Apocrypha greatness. And it's just, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer, a little forewarning. Turn down the volume. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to hear any complaints about it later. If you don't like extreme fanboying in any context, you might want to leave. This isn't for you, because my boy is about to go in. That's you understand. This is aside from Game of Thrones, to be honest. The Game of Thrones I'm still more hyped for. But this is the thing I've been looking forward to all motherfucking week, dude. There's nothing they can do to fuck this up for me. Even if it's abysmally adapted. And judging by the first 2 episodes, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. I'm hearing people saying it's not, they fucked up somewhat. I don't believe in that shit, dude. I don't believe in that shit. So, no matter what happens, just praise the God of the sun and excuse me for getting a little carried away. I already know what's gonna happen. Just you know, preemptively turn down the volume. Excuse me for getting a little carried away. And smash that like button, man, because I still, it baffles me, man. There's way more people than there are likes. And if you guys, you know, weren't lazy about moving the mouse over and hovering over a button and pressing it, you follow. You get where I'm going with this. But anyway, I'm gonna start this episode right now. I'm ready. I've waited long enough. So if you're ready, cue it up. I'm gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My dude, still getting that trio. See, this is what I'm saying, bro. Astolfo. Give that man his mana and let him go on his way. You twisted bitch. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking she's sexy. But she's fucking disgusting. My son. She does have a nice body, don't get me wrong. I don't want any woman that smells like death lurking on top of me like that, though. I said, dude, leave my son alone. Yeah, Hana is the best choice for his Seiyu. Oh, I'm sorry. It's time. Finally, we'll get to meet the MC. Yo. Not bad. I mean, doing a good job showcasing his fragility. Doesn't really give you much of his internal state, though. I don't like the way they cut that. Astolfo, I love you, my dude. Save my son. It didn't give him much, like, characterization there. I don't know shit about his internal state. Make him seem... I mean, on the one hand, it makes him seem a little bit more hapless, but... Oh, no. Oh, no. I still don't understand how people don't like this opening, man. This shit is fire. Anybody that doesn't like an Egoist opening needs to be smacked. That transition with Semi and Shiro, dude, that's too real. me steel myself. Let me ready myself. Oh, that's so fucked up. His body is so weak right now. And a firm grip on that ass there, Astolfo. I see you. That's the one the man was breeding. It's a good point, Rosha. That's a good point. I like that. I like the subtlety there. Don't give it away. Oh, sorry, bring in the key on. Exactly. This is why I love you, Astolfo. For one, what kind of hero really sits idly by when somebody's asking for help? And it's just that... Oh, shit. I forgot. Oh, I forgot about that. I can't say anything, but I forgot about that. I don't like letting people die. I love this Astolfo. Both being on a whim and not at the same time. This motherfucker, dude. Yo! Even a lot more screen time than I would have thought for the Masters of Red. And my girl John's still making her way. Damn, the pace. See, that's what I'm scared of, dude. That they escalate too quickly. God! Woo! Yo, let's go. Wait, hold on. Let me turn this shit up. Yo, Carna, man, let's fucking go. Bring that fat ass Gordo out here so I can get into this greatness. Stating the obvious is the hallmark of a fool. Yo! Just excuse me, man. This is one of my favorite servants of all time. This is one of my favorite servants of all time. Look at that aura. John, I love you, but you better fall back from this man. Yeah, they did reveal the man's name. It's not even a spoiler. Let's fucking go. If you don't shut your fat ass up, Gordo, grown men are talking. Get your ugly ass face out of the goddesses. The man was ordered to do so. He didn't give a fuck. Yo! right. Get your ass out of here. The steady hand of the true ruler. Oh, it's just too nice. That's what it is. It's perfection. Do it, Siegfried, if you can. Kill him, if you can. Yo. We might have to do a long discussion on my boy after this. I don't know. I don't want to make another hour stream. I'm Carter, son of the sun god. What the heck? Why are you cutting to this now? There was no need to cut to this now. I mean, I guess they didn't give him much back. They didn't give him much of his backstory last week. They just did that little hint with the shot of his back. Don't get me wrong, dude. This man is a god. I love this man. But stacking up against Garna? Siegfried. I hope my death can put an end to this war, dude. One of the truest heroes that's ever lived. What was I seeking? Yo! Whoa! Look at that speed! Yo! Man's monoburst is crazy. Man's monoburst is crazy. If you don't shut up, she already gave you her answer. Keep your eyes locked on the fight. I have a lot of problems right now. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have a lot of problems, adaptation-wise, with this episode more so than anyone. But we'll talk about that after. I need to enjoy this right now. Yo, see, this is why I fucking hate that, man. They even play this up properly. That's the thing. They even play this up properly. Woo! See that sun starting to rise? They did this too fast. Nah, man, they didn't do this properly. But that shot is really, look at it, oh my boy! Beast. That is a skirmish. They fucked that up, dude. It definitely had its hype, but it could have been so much better. Skirting around too much, man. A lot of the detail is falling to the wayside. If they fuck up this Spartacus charge too, I swear to God. And Son's dick is confused. Yo, I got a semi right now. I don't know. feeling a little bit, I'm slightly aroused. But at the same time, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of confused. Damn. Poor Letitia, man. Fucking up her luggage. Yo, okay, no. I fuck with this, though. That's some nice C characterization right there. Into the depths. Trying to do everything. They're trying to narratively develop this character visually, and that's about it. I think more internalization would be good, and more internal monologues would be good for C. Get on. Yeah, of course he is. Did a good job with his disposition, the character design right now. Can see how frail the man is. Man, I don't know. I have a lot of issues right now. There's a lot I'm liking, and there's a lot that's disappointing me. This is the first episode that's felt this way. Give a little bit more time to the Stolfo too. Come on now. All right, at least you're doing the second scene with Franchan and Nicholas like that. She's beautiful, isn't she, my dude? This is much needed, actually. I'm glad they're doing this. I was thinking they were trying to do this in the first scene last week. Yo, this track is fire. Cause he was a dick. If I invented something so beautiful, I'd have always been by your side, Franchan. I never left you. That's Scumlord. How are you gonna make something so beautiful and just cast it to the side? Not quite, my boy. Ooh, misspoke. It's one of the best bonds that's out here. I guess Kanon and Fiora is better, but slightly. I'm 90% sure Vic was gay. Yo, I don't know what was wrong with that man. Doesn't have an eye for perfection. In some far-off hypothetical records. Meanwhile, she's willing to discard you at the drop of a dime, my boy Colin. He's a good man. He's a good man. I will say that. Aww, Franchan, too precious. That scene was perfect. Alright, and see, that's not where the focus should have lied, though. That was one of the best scenes this episode. And yet, that's not the most important shit that happened this episode. And I'm kind of salty. I'm gonna watch that scene again, though. And I kind of fucked up the Sieg scene at the beginning, too. Aww. But I want to stand as a mage. No, Kanon respects the shit out of that. Unfortunately, you're not out here on your actual feet, my dude. Yeah, I gotta get like a soundboard so I can just cue up some Gilgamesh lines. Be like, fake. Drop that right there. Would I date Franchan? Of course. See, I wouldn't date Franchan. I would marry Franchan. Are you kidding me? Woo! Yo, they heard my complaints, dude. They're making Mordred's ass a little bit more curly now. That's what it's supposed to be. Bro, the OST is on point right now. I will say that. Yes, we're all aware. We're all aware you would have been King Mordred. We're all aware. Just follow Shishigo's lead. Oh my god, that's the other thing that's too good. They say you're just perfection. Yo, listen to this track. You heard those horns, dude? Right? Like, it's Fuyuki just goddess. I don't know, man. There's so much I love about this adaptation right now, but this episode is kind of slightly pissing me off. They glossed over too much. And they took liberties where they didn't need to. Of course not. You know, that reverse psychology. I love how they're showing how childish Mordred really is. That's her whole existence. It's not even innocence. It's just childish impertinence and impatience. That's what makes her so fucking amazing, though. Yo, can we get some of that pure smile, please? Yo, let's get it. Next week is gonna be... If they fuck up next week... I'm looking so jolly! The man fell into the trap! He's still... Yo, watch him emerge with a smile. Woo! Dude, that's pure joy. Goddess and the other god. You just wait for the other god. That's all I'm saying. There's only one nigga out here that's really as OP as Karna and Vlad right now. There's only one other motherfucker out here that's really as OP as Karna. And the only reason Vlad is this OP is because he's in Romania. Always remember that shit. Yo, look at that Darnik smile. Yo, if Darnik put, I'm telling you, the more they do Darnik in this, it just feels like they're trying to push that Julius association. All right, let me bask in this ending for a second before I say my piece. that might be my ending of the season. Oh, sorry, that shit is too fire. That shit is too fire. Let's go back. I was trying to avoid another hour-long fucking Fapo stream, but we're gonna do another hour-long Fapo stream because this. I don't know. We're gonna go scene by scene with this. We're not even gonna do spoilers this week. No spoiler section, so you don't have to leave. I'm not gonna spoil shit. I just want to like talk about the episode more in depth because I have some qualms. It's also a lot I like, but I definitely have some qualms. All right, opening scene. Look at that drool off of Selenik, dude. Oh my goodness. Like honestly, if it wasn't for and the thing people are missing. Okay, so just like. It's even worse than Shishi, to be honest with you, because Shishi is just a straight-up necromancer. All Selenik does is dabble in the dark arts. That's all she does, and we haven't gotten any of that exposition yet, which is something that bothers me, right? You're supposed to know right now that she smells like rotting corpses, okay? You're supposed to know that this woman smells like rotting corpses. Otherwise, I'd be down, dude. Look at that ass. Look at that ass. Astolfo doesn't like it either, dude. And Astolfo, don't get it twisted. Yes, Astolfo is, and that's my boy. Astolfo is a top tier trap, okay? That's one of the greatest traps of all time right there. Don't get it twisted. This man's not soft. This man gets it in. This man has been slaying women before any of you were born, all right? This man doesn't like it either. So that should tell you something. Plus, it's all about the pursuit for him. If that's one thing this episode does do pretty well, is give you more characterization for Astolfo, because we haven't really seen much of his gallivanting around, anything like that. But, can you just talk about what should have happened? Well, there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go scene by scene and talk about what should have happened and what should not have happened. This scene, I'm glad they put it here. Showcasing the man's disinterest in it. There's just not a lot of context in situations where there should be more context. Like, for example, this Sieg scene, and this is my son, dude. You're finally getting into getting introduced to what, for all intents and purposes, is the main character of Apocrypha, right? You're getting introduced for what, for all intents and purposes, is the main character of Apocrypha, and they don't give you much internalization for him. That's the problem. Like, I like the cuts between everybody talking about him as he slumbers in the fucking chamber. You have Visibarian coming out there, telling his purpose, and that's something I really like about this episode, is that they subtly drop the fact, like, that one line where he's like, this could very well be the core I was looking for Adam. Subtle. No context whatsoever. You don't really even know what the man is talking about. I mean, if you're a Fate fanboy, you can venture a guess. It's pretty obvious, but I like that. Right? Otherwise, you're supposed to, and they do a good job visually of showcasing the man's fragility. I will say that. They do a good job visually of showcasing fragility, showcasing his will to live, and kind of framing him as a newborn, which he very much is. You know, he hasn't really existed much. He's just a homunculus. But you don't really get much of, like, his internal, I think they should have done more internal, dialogue, internal monologues from the man, because especially with the Seiyu like Hanae, it would have worked, it would have flowed if they slowed down the pacing to allow for it, because this is the episode that I'm most upset with the pacing, dude. The pacing has been on point for me for the first two episodes. They kind of accelerated in a way they didn't need to with this episode. It has me a little bit worried, dude. Has me a little bit worried, but it is what it is. Overall, you get a good idea of Sieg as a character right now. You get a good idea of it. I like the scene with Astolfo carrying him. And like I said, I like the dialogue between Roche and Solvin. Some good shit. There's some good shit there. But then, here's the thing too, and I also like that they're giving Masters of Red more screen time. They gave him that screen time in the first episode. They're giving him some screen time now. It's actually really nice, even though really the only thing you should be focused on is Semiramis and Shiro. That's all that really matters. But even still, the scene with like Astolfo, Kiron, and Sieg lying there, I think was rushed. I think it doesn't give you much context. John's journey, John is getting shafted right now. Aside from the Gordo back talk, dude, she getting shafted. I don't like it. There's not much. We got her taking the plane ride. Even still, we don't have much direct exposition about Letitia, right? Which is fine. I can get past that. They should have given the whole fucking rest of this episode all the way up to the insert for the ad. They should have given to just John alone and given her some more context. Let the truck ride out. Give her some dialogue by herself, and then have Karna attack, and then the whole second half, probably like I want to say to like the 16 to 17 minute mark, should have been the fight between Sieg and Karna. Dude, that shit pisses me off because for like the 5 seconds we do have of this clash. And they wasted time with the Sieg backstory, which they could have done last week. That's what pisses me off, dude. That's what fucking pisses me off. Hold on, I'm rambling. Let me see if anybody has anything to say in the chat. Let's see if before I get back to my rambling and my gripes. And then like I said, the episode was still good. I understand why people are telling me why, and I'm that's the thing. I'm one of those light novel readers that whenever I've read a light novel for something, or even just like whenever I've read a manga for something too, it's a little bit easier with a manga because you can be a little bit more stringent with the adaptation. You know what I'm saying? You can go as far as going panel by panel with the adaptation if you really wanted to as a director. With a light novel adaptation, I'm a little bit more lax in general. And even with like some of the missteps they made in the first 2 episodes, I think it worked. I think the liberties they took were on point. There's things here that piss me off in this episode, dude. I'm not too concerned as long as they fall back on speeding up the pacing right now and give a little bit more time and fucking tender love and care to things that should be given tender love and care. But anyway, not really. Nobody's really saying anything in this chat, so I can just keep rambling. His 3-year time limit should play a big role in his personality, I think. Wait. The fuck are you talking about? Oh, you talking about Sieg. Well, that shit changes really quickly. I'm not going to spoil anything, but they should, and that's the thing. You get that information now, that he really only has 3 years to live. His body's weak as fuck. He only really has Keenan and Astolfo in his corner. But yet, you really don't get much from his perspective. That's what I don't like, man. I don't like that. So you can forget about Gil already. Yo, Caster, start fucking with the man Shakespeare, alright? Start fucking with the man Shakespeare. Or fuck with the Vesparon, dude. Fuck with Solomon, because I'm tired of this Gil de Rey talk. I really am. Gordo has a bad mustache. Let's talk about that fat motherfucker. That they did well. The 2 instances he tries to goad fucking John over to his side, and she's like, no, shut the fuck up. This is how things are supposed to go. It was a problem when the man attacked me, but I can fend for myself. And, Maya's did an incredible job with the save work, but this man's still coin, and he feels absolutely hapless. The only thing they did right direction-wise, from Gordo's perspective, is that shot of the command seals. That's the only thing they did well. They're doing a lot of things, and I do like that direction-wise in terms of adaptation. When you take something, especially in a light novel adaptation, you take certain things that you would automatically think or would register as, oh, I should do this through verbal exposition, and instead you just give it a shot that pulls in all the connotations that you could have had through a more lengthy verbal exposition. I love that shit. So like what they did last week with the shot of Sieg's back, that shit was perfect. They ain't really giving any direct exposition. Now they wasted time in the fight that I could have had. I'm disappointed in this fight, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm disappointed in this fight. Even like the bit that we did get doesn't live up to how it was in my motherfucking mind, dude. And that's not a problem I have when Ufotable does things. Ufotable always reaches the level. I'm not hating on anyone. I absolutely love them. I mean, the staff on this project, I still have faith in. And it wasn't too bad. There were moments of it that I was like, this fucking lit. Whoever did the choreography for it was on point. Whoever storyboarded it was on point. but you wasted too much time and didn't give it enough, dude. Especially from the dialogue. Here's the thing, right? There's like a whole lengthy portion, and we don't get any of that, where Karn is just taking hits from Sieg, like from Siegfried, because I gotta call him that, taking thousands of hits from the man, and taking no damage, virtually no damage. On the flip side, and if you understand, like, servant parameters and stuff like that, you'll know where I'm going with this. Wait, what is this? What is this? If you understand servant parameters and such, you know where I'm going with this. But on the flip side, because of Siegfried's legend, having been bathed in the dragon's blood. Wait, what is this? What is this? Oh wait, yeah, the storyboard cut. Let me watch this. See, like, watching this for episode 1 as well was actually really dope. Let me watch this real quick. See, like, that's ill. That's what I'm saying. There's certain portions of this that are actually pretty dope, but it should have been extended. There should have been more pauses, a little bit more of a stalemate vibe drawn up. You don't just time skip into the dawn and shit. But anyway, like I was gonna say, so since he bathed in dragon's blood, he has basically any skill, both physical. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's both physical and magic skills have to be A rank or higher to hurt the man. That's it. See, if that's what the man has. It pales in comparison to Karna's divinity, but that's what the man has. They don't showcase any. None of that is apparent through this clash, dude. None of that is apparent. It was all but fucking 30 seconds for this. That's what pissed me off, dude. Like, it was ill for what I got, but I wanted so much more, dude. I wanted so much more. They could have given this like a good 5 minutes. But I'm done harping on that. There were some crazy cuts. That Karna shot was enough for me to be satisfied. The sun in the back, that shit was ill. That shit was ill. But anyway, let's move past that. Like I said, the Gordo shit, they did a suitable job kind of showcasing his mentality. They're just doing I think they're trying to do a little too much visually and not enough with more verbal direct exposition. And I'm normally the one to complain about shit like that, but it's gonna, if they continue with this pacing that they've established in this episode, and they continue to try and force everything down that avenue, a lot of shit's gonna get lost in translation. A lot of things gonna go over people's heads. A lot of the impact is going to, kind of be deflated from the series overall. So I don't want to see that. The Franchan and Coliseum was amazing. That shit was amazing. I will say that. They did a great job with that. Kira and the Fiora scene was just exactly what it needed to be. Nothing really more, nothing less. And then the second scene was a little better. The man stumbling, trying to walk, questioning, what his purpose is in general. They need more of that. They needed more of that in the first scene when he broke free. They needed a little bit more of that. But then the Morgan and Chichigo scene was perfect. The Spartacus charge was perfect. Shit's about to get hyped next episode. They better not squander this up here. I'm a little bit. I don't know if it's just me. I'm just a little bit salty. That's all. I'm just a little bit salty. I don't think I'm gonna get over it readily. Overall, if I had to rank, like, all right, let's, and I haven't done this in a long time. I haven't given episodes rankings in a long time, but let's compare episode 1 and 2 to this episode right now, which should have been, in my opinion, if they had done this right, this should have been the most hype episode thus far. It really should have. It really wasn't. All right. I would say adaptation-wise, for episode 1 and episode 2, they're both a solid 8 out of 10 adaptation-wise. A few things glossed over, a few things done a little bit fast, a few things done a little bit too slow. But overall, I love what they did with it. I love how they took the material based on that. I love the pacing of it. With this episode, and this has been my worry going into the series even before it was announced to be 2 core. And once it was announced to be 2 core, I thought it would be alleviated. But they went too fast with this episode, dude. Way too fast with this episode on crucial scenes that should have been slowed down a little bit. So adaptation-wise, coming off of 2 solid 8 out of 10s for adaptation, this is like a fucking 5, dude. As far as if you take away the light novel perspective, and you take all that shit away, if I'm just going to judge it fairly on its own merits, still a really good episode. Still a really good episode. It's just not a little bit lackluster, dude. I should have been through the roof. Instead, I'm kind of still on the ground. Still on the ground. Anyway, what's good with this chat right now? Let me scroll back up. Different script writers, screen composers have different visions of how to interpret a source material. Gotta suck it up and live with it. I mean, look, man. I'm a firm believer in that, and I've already come to terms with it. I'm just, like I said, I have gripes with this episode, and I have a lot of things that I really like about this episode. No, at no point in the first 2 episodes did I dwell on a single gripe, because it wasn't that, nothing was that bad or that detrimental. My problem with this episode is not even rooted in the episode, because I actually enjoyed the episode overall. It's not even rooted just solely in the adaptation. It's what it evokes. It's the fear that if they go down this track and hopefully kind of reposition itself next week, because next week is crucial as well. If they can pace that properly, my faith will be restored. I just don't want them continuing at this speed. That's my biggest problem. I don't want them glossing over things that need a little bit more attention, a little bit more tender love and care, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more. Didn't UFO table underwhelm the second half of UB? No, fuck that, no. I don't believe in that. The real problem is that A1 is mostly freelancers. I mean, that's always the general problem with A1, but that's not the issue here. Yeah, exactly, Mitchell. That's not the issue here. That has nothing to do with this particular scenario. That's just people's general complaint with A1. I fucking love A1, so that has nothing to do with anything for me. Was kind of down animation-wise. It felt like they were too fast with it and were rushing. Overall, like, even quality-wise, I mean, you know, thank you. At least insert some love. The French on love, I can live with that. Attacking. Wait, I don't get what attacking the ruler does. Okay, I can talk about this for a second. So basically, Shiro wants ruler out of the picture because he can. I don't want to assume that everybody's on the same page as me. Just let me know. Do you all feel the shade from Shiro at this point? Because if you don't, they're not. I think they're doing a good job of showcasing it. If you don't, then there's probably something wrong. I'm not even trying to spoil anything. Both him and Semiramis are fucking shady, dude. Anyway, the man wants to get rid of the ruler class so that there's no one lording over him. So there's no regulation. You can kind of frame it like, oh, the church is in command of this. But if you really cared about order and the Grail itself, which that raises bigger issues as far as Gnostiverse is concerned. But I don't want to get into any of that. I don't want to talk about, you know, Counterforce of the World or anything like that. But if you really believed in that, Shiro, there's no reason to get rid of John. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, he wants nothing to be checking him when he makes his power plays. That's all. Shit. Lost my position in this chat. For another 30-second fight. Dude, they fucked it up, man! I'm so salty. I don't know. Like, I've never, I mean, that's probably not true, but I don't know, man. I think I built it up too much in my mind. Like, it was one of those moments when I was reading the first volume, you know, back in the day, when I first picked up Fate Apocrypha, and I was getting into it. That was the point where I was like, yo, this light novel, because a lot of light novels that are action oriented sometimes don't, aside from your normal battle light novels, you know what I'm saying, but sometimes don't really describe action sequences to the level of detail that I need to. That fight was the moment where I was like, Garna is God. This is fucking incredible. I'm in love. And I don't know. I guess I built it up a little too much in my mind. I built it up a little too much. Was the best scene probably. Yo, I mean, that shit was amazing. They fixed her ass. because that shit was looking flatter than the fucking ironing board last week. They fixed her ass. Miyuki's doing an incredible job. The Seiyu work, I have to say, overall, is fucking brilliant. Seiyu work is brilliant. I think I have to agree, though, Sima. I think that is my favorite scene of the episode. The Franchan and College scene. I think that's my favorite scene of the episode. Which, realistically, my favorite scene of the episode should have been the Karna and Sieg fight. That should have been my favorite scene of the episode. And then the second favorite scene of the episode should have been, you know, Sieg actually breaking out of the tank and how they described that. But no, neither of those are my favorite scene of the episode. Why? They weren't executed properly. Doesn't matter, though. Overall, just from a pure enjoyment standpoint, just as a fanboy of the series as well, and as a Fate fanboy in general, I still enjoyed the episode. In fairness, if I'm not looking at it from a light novel reader perspective, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. But I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed. Spartacus fight more time in the next episode. If they fuck up, that's what I'm saying though, Federico. If they fuck up in the same way that they fucked up this episode next week, that's a problem. That's when it becomes a problem, because I can understand maybe your vision from a director's standpoint, and maybe, you know, some people as far as the staff overall, key animators and such, were like, this is my vision for this scene, and this is how it needs to be. It needs to be quick, it needs to be sparse, it needs to be on point, it needs to be fucking over the top and crazy. That's fine. This next battle, though, that is not the case. This, so much of Servants, you know, their characterization and introduction as far as the red camp and black camp is concerned, relies on this clash. So they need to take their time with this next episode. They need to. Yeah, what's up, Fallen? What's up? Off topic, but did you see the Arxis crossover fighting game? I did not, dude. That's what, I gotta get the fuck up out of here, dude. I've missed too much of Evo right now. I missed too much Evo today. I gotta watch Kakegurui, and then I gotta go back and watch everything I missed from Evo today. But no, I haven't seen that. I watched like 2.5 hours of Dragon Ball FighterZ that they had on the show floor the other night, though. Ruby characters are in it? Wait, what the fuck? Yo, let me look this up. Let me look this up. Arc System Works is doing a crossover fighting game with Ruby characters. I know this is off topic, but let me see this. I don't know how I missed this shit. Chances of, well, this is some old shit. Hold on. Yo, link me to that shit, please. Link me to that shit. Link me to that shit. Speaking of Fake Clear, what are your thoughts on the movie? I'm hyped, bro. I'm fucking hyped for that movie. I'm really, really excited for that movie. Especially since that was another moment where I felt it was a little bit lackluster. And I love Fake Khalid, but those last 2 episodes of Dry, I don't know, it was a little bit lackluster. Well, 3 people worked on the cut, but were limited due to TV production time constraints. Can't let talent, but if you can't give them the beans, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That does make me look at it in a different light a little bit, but I don't know. Well, just asking to kill the ruler. Wait, what? I missed that. I don't know. I can't find the fucking comment again. I saw the post already. It's gonna cause problems. Wait, fuck. I'm too far behind on these comments. Alright. Good. Everybody sees the Shiro shade. So you tell his name to his opponent. Why? Because of mutual respect, bro. Bruce. That when a clash like that, when you find somebody, when you have a clash, right, and it's somebody that you think deserves your utmost respect, and you should, like, have you been watching Fate, my boy? Like, dude, heroic spirits, true heroic spirits. I don't even want to call them servants right now. True heroic spirits are gonna fucking give you their name if they respect you, straight up. If they don't, they're shady. If they don't, they're shady. Unless it hinges on it. I don't mind that too, because first of all, Jean knew it was really just them and Gordo. It's not like Connor's really going to take that information and run with it. So, and it is fucking weird because, you know, they don't directly state that. It is kind of weird. I will say that it is kind of weird, but I don't mind that move because it's not like Connor's going to do anything with it. I really don't think he'll do anything with it. But it is a weird move. It is a weird move because that's the biggest thing that Gordo tried to restrict him from doing. A lot of the Black Camp's success hinges on that, without spoiling anything. But it becomes a lesser issue. So like it doesn't bother me just because I know it's gonna happen. That's probably what it is. It doesn't bother me. It's not a change that like I think is too detrimental. Kotomine makes him shady. That's true. Once you put the name Kotomine on anyone, it's shady. Which part? I'll DM you the exact page of the light novel that the fight commences on, or the chapter at the very least, because my page numbers might be different. But I'll send it to you, Zara. I'll send it to you. Trust me, when you read that fight and you get the I'm sorry, it just doesn't do it justice. It just doesn't do it justice. Everything else to this point, adaptation-wise, for me, aside from the Seek stuff, I think they need to give him a little bit more internalization too, but it just doesn't do it justice. I mean, the Froze in the light novel was good, but the fight in the light novel was just kind of stabbing Saber with a spear for a few. Bro, you're downplaying. You're downplaying. And the Bros were phenomenal. That translation was amazing. I remember it like it was yesterday. So the Spartacus fight will be better. See, it's not even. That's the reason why I'm so scared about this, because it's not even just a Spartacus fight. Like multiple people are going in this next episode, and they need to do it properly. They need to do it properly. Where do complaints seem based on knowledge from it and put into comparison on its own? Anime only most likely love it. I mean, I'm trying to look at it with putting all that out of my mind, and as doing that, I think it's a solid episode. It's not an amazing episode. It's by no means a bad episode. It's a solid episode. When I look at it from the light novel context, it's still a solid episode, actually. I just have my qualms because of that context. That's all. So don't get things twisted. Don't misconstrue my statements. I'm still loving this Apocrypha adaptation right now. Still loving it. So I have some minor gripes that I hope don't overwhelm me going forward. I built this episode too much up in my mind, dude. I was expecting them to do the fight justice. That's my biggest complaint, honestly. You know, really have to be. Aside from, I think they are making some missteps pacing wise and with C's character, but that's neither here nor there. As long as if the audience is receiving him well, and they have a notion of his fragility, and how fragile he is, that's really all that matters. That's really all that matters. So, as a director, I can respect the choice there. Being a fake fanboy really helps me ignore the bad stuff, but it's that because I wanted to be better so bad because it deserves to be better. I mean, I'm the fanboy in me is allowing me is I don't know. The fanboy in me is actually what makes me a little bit more salty right now, because normally I just blindly fanboy regardless, but I still enjoyed the episode, man. I gotta watch it again. I gotta take it in. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Didn't they tease this a while ago? And nothing ever came from it? Alright, I see the. Oh shit, is that you? Wait, Narukami! Hold on, did they put Persona characters in this? Hold on. Wait. The fuck? Yo. This is about to be my game. And Ruby's. Yo, you guys even like. Yo, this is about to be my game. I didn't even know that was a thing. That should just change everything. If it was another studio, I would expect them to put the most effort to the climax of the volume, but with A1, you never know. I mean, that's the thing. We're still pacing-wise, we're still at a good point, because they're not rushing through this volume. They're not, like, you know, just charging blindly through the volume. I don't know. Mitra, I agree with you for the most part, but you can't just blindly dismiss source material. For me, it's never like a big thing. It's still not, to be honest with you, because I always judge an anime on its own merits, regardless of the adaptation portion of that. I do prefer when I'm just anime only, to be honest, because I avoid things like this. But you'll never hear me in general. Like this is probably, if you go back through any video I've ever made in the history of the channel, where I was a source material reader, you've never really heard me complain about things adaptation-wise. It just doesn't happen. I don't do that shit. But it is what it is. What the fuck is this? Oh, I already watched this. Yeah, this game is about to change my life. Wants to leave their mark. Condense a part of a book into 22 minutes. See, that's what I always say. That's what I always tell people, especially light novel readers that are always nitpicking. See, I'm not nitpicking over bullshit right now. That's the thing. Normally, a lot of the complaints I see from light novel readers on most episodes of an adaptation. That's the problem, too. It's not like it's just an isolated incident. It's like every week, light novel readers would be like, oh, well, they fucked this up this week, and they fucked this up this week. And they're nitpicking over things that just get lost in translation when you adapt a fucking 300-page novel into an anime. I mean, unless you're steamrolling through volumes like a madman, that's when shit gets fucked up and you have a terrible adaptation. But regardless, I'm not nitpicking right now. I'm just a little bit underwhelmed. That's what it is. That's what it is, and that's my perspective. I can't erase the fact that I love this volume and I love this chapter. I just can't erase it. This is anime original, I think. Wait, what? Yeah, no, that I love. That I actually love. The flashback, that is 100% anime original. When he has that dream sequence, and the rest of the homunculi are like vanishing from their fucking tubes and shit like that, that is anime original. That does a great job of characterizing Sieg, of showcasing his anxieties, etc. I love that scene. That makes up for the lack of internal monologue for me. That makes up for it. The fight was hours long, and yet they had it for 30 seconds. I mean, it didn't need to be hours long. You just need to do it for like 3. All it needed to be was like 2 minutes longer or some shit like that, and a little bit more detailed on their abilities. Because if you're not invested in any Fate franchise, period, and you don't really know servant parameters, you're not getting much context for how much of a god Karna really is. Like, I don't think, without me stressing it, I don't know how many of you really understand how fucking OP Karna really is just based off of that little skirmish. I don't really think you do. I mean, if you understand how fucking ridiculous Sieg shit is, then maybe, but I don't know. Shorten the fight because plot-wise it's not that much, so I feel like, I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I don't know. I don't like it, man. I'm just perturbed at the possibility that they want to maintain this kind of pacing going forward. It's a little bit unsettling. It's a little bit unsettling. That's what I'm saying, dude. And who else knows what else is in this game, Fallen? Like, first of all, Arxis just taking what if they put a DBZ character in there? What if they put just Goku? They don't even need to do like a full portion of the roster from fighters. They just need to put Goku in there just to build up the fighters hype. But anyway, I'm sure they're gonna have Guilty Gear characters in there. I'm sure they'll have Guilty Gear characters in there. That is just great. Even if they had just done BlazBlue cross with Persona, I don't know how it's gonna translate though. It's gonna be kind of weird, trying to balance Persona abilities based on like the parameters of Ultimax against BlazBlue characters, especially like a Jin like that. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. The balancing is gonna take a lot of work for that game. But then you have Ruby, dude. I'm done. You already know I'm gonna stream that shit. Also, if anybody is interested in me streaming some Gundam Versus, I've been playing that game for the last 24 hours. It's fucking amazing. Unfortunately, there's not as many IBO suits as I would like, and I didn't get the DLC, so I don't have Barbados Lupus. I just got the regular Barbados, but I'm not gonna use it much anyway, to be honest with you. I'm gonna stick with Sabi for now. Sabi's my suit. Speak as if they could slap anything, however hard to pull off a 2-core production. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You gotta give reverence and respect, because at the same time, as much as I'm nitpicking right now, I'm just humbly stating my opinion and reacting / reviewing the episode. I'm not out there putting in the work. I'm not out there putting in the hours. I have much praise for the staff and cast on this project regardless, because I think they're doing an excellent job overall. A couple of missteps, tripping a little bit over some pebbles, doesn't derail the whole project. That's all I'm saying. Karna is fucking OP. You didn't lie about that. Piece of that. That's why. Yeah, I'll send it to you, Zara. I'm gonna send it to you as soon as I end this stream. Well, I'm gonna do Kakagurui first, and then I'm gonna send it to you. Oh, we just hit an hour. All right, we're done. We're out. I'll body you with a shark custom. Let's go, Fallen. You got the game? Let's go. Wait, do I have you on PSN? Do I have you on PSN? Oh no, I really don't know. Oh, you're gonna wait till you get to the Western release. All right. I'll see you over there. I'm pretty sure Yang is in the game. I haven't checked all the suits though. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. We got our hour mark. I really did want to just talk about the episode on its merits. Good episode overall. I'm just a little bit underwhelmed and concerned, but I think it'll bounce back. I think it'll bounce back next week, and we'll be good. Yeah, I was pretty sure. I definitely do have you on PSN. I was pretty sure. Just making sure. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Especially, I want to hear from the anime onlys. Like, how did you feel about this episode? Did you get a lot of the questions I was asking? Did you get a lot of that kind of context? Like, do you feel how fucking overpowered Karna is? Did you get a lot of Sieg's internality? I think that one cut does a great job of establishing that, but I could be wrong. Franchan for the motherfucking win. And I'm gonna go watch Kakagurui now. So smash that like button if you enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.